Hey guys, Sean here from Lawn Right. Today we're carrying out a full renovation. On this lawn we're going to be scarifying, aerating, overseeding and top dressing. Now if you like these sort of videos, please give us a thumbs up and please click on that subscribe button down there. Let's crack on. So this particular lawn, we came and surveyed it autumn last year, and what they agreed to do was to have some Roundup on first to kill everything off, and then we're going to come and do the renovation. Now we came about 3 weeks ago and applied the Roundup, so this is now all prepped and ready. So what we're going to do, we're going to get the scarifier on first, and we're going to go over as heavy as we can, get as much of this rubbish out as possible, so we've got a nice clean slate. It never ceases to amaze me when people say, why is my lawn looking very good? Because it's full of moss and it's full of thatch. You can see the piles of stuff. Look, just look at that. Sat there, nestled on the ground, stopping aerating nutrients from getting down. Things can only get better. So we're talking about leaf grabbers. I did link in one of my videos, lawn care shopping list, to some leaf grabbers like this. They've got thicker handles. Don't go for the ones that are like thin and like a dark green, because it's thin metal and it'll bend here, which puts these two out of alignment with one another, and they don't grip too good, and eventually they'll just break. These are a bit more, but they are worth the weight in gold. Probably had these 4 years now, and can't complain at all. Worth the weight in gold. Right, so with the amount of thatch, the bin got full pretty quickly, so we're going to bag the rest up. So normally I put them into piles and then I can just scoop them into the pile, but we'll just pick it up as we go and we'll keep raking and clearing up that way. Right, so we have scarified really heavily. We've only gone in one direction, but we've gone backwards and forwards, and it has taken a fair bit out. So I've just had a little walk over then. There's a couple of bits here. There's a strip of moss here and here where it sort of dips a bit and the scarifier cannot get the blades deep enough. So I'm going to have to go over these by hand. But in general, most of it is absolutely fine. There's just a couple of bits, and also down here there's another sort of strip of moss there. Everything else is pretty much clear, and you can see we got really close to the edge, apart from maybe 2 inch going all the way down there. So I'm just going to tease some of that moss out with the scarifying rake, made by Wolfgarten. So that's this one here. You've seen this being used on many videos. You just rock it backwards and forwards. So I'm going to get these bits raked out, cleared up, and then we'll move on to the next stage. So just quickly show you, remember, full renovation. This one was a total kill off, so we're doing a heavy scarify, so it looks the pits. It looks the pits. Different scarify is required for different jobs, depending on what you're doing. So heavy scarify, we've filled the bin, and I don't know, about 8 or 9 bags. So, and then we're going with the mower just to suck up any last few bits. Next thing we're going to do is hollow tine aerate this lawn, and when we're getting the blower to try and blow some of the cores into piles and lines, we want to make sure that we've done the mowing first, which we've just done, so that there isn't any debris flying about as much from the scarify. So we try and minimize that, otherwise you end up with you're blowing hard to get the cores into lines, but there's a lot of debris from the scarifying process which starts blowing up. There will be some from this, however it won't be as bad as if we hadn't mowed. So let's get started. So this may be the last time you see this aerator. I have a new one coming in the next week or so, but I'm keeping hold of this. It's not getting rid of, it's a great machine, but the other one is a little bit narrower, so it gets into smaller spaces easier. So it's a good bit of kit. So while we're aerating, this lawn's actually clay based, so I've been waiting to show you on a clay based lawn what this manual aerator's like from J&J on Facebook. And we did a video review of this tool on my own lawn, but it was normal sandy soil. This lawn's got clay in it, so I'm going to do a little strip of this and we're going to see how it gets on in regards to clogging. Now, so what generally happens is you push it down with your foot, this goes into the ground and forces soil up here with each one. 1, 2, 3, and the third one it will spit out from the top. The trouble with a lot of these, they literally start to clog up with sticky soil, so this may become an issue on this lawn. However, for normal lawns it works really well. If it is the case with a clay lawn, then you're going to have to invest in a different manual aerator which has a side ejection hole on the tine. This is called a tine. It's a hollow tine, T-I-N-E, and some of them have the ejection holes there, so you push it up and it falls out. Some of them are also, you can screw them on and change and put different ones on when they wear out. It's a good idea. However, generally you find that those sort of tools are more expensive. Now if your budget is say up to £40 or so, this may be just perfect. Let's see what it's like on clay and then I can give you my thoughts about that. So I'm just going to go down now and go so far down with clay and see if it is ejecting the soil well. So let's take a look. Now you can see the ones I've just done there, and these are clay based. They're not solid clay, but you can see how they are sticky. When you squeeze it, it holds together, and it worked really well actually. So it works well on a clay based soil. We haven't tried it on pure clay, however we are learning now that this is good on a clay based soil and a normal based soil. And so what we're going to do, we will be using it for corners where we can't get with the machine. So this is my hollow tine machine, and they go round there on an axle which is level with the wheels, and as you can see they can't reach under there because that's where the front roller is. So with the little corner there and any other corners where the machine can't get, I will be using that from J&J, and I'll put a link in the description to the guy's page, Jon Gali, and you can contact him if you want to get one. I think they're £40, £9.99 postage. There are others on Amazon at £17, £20, and they're absolutely shocking. The tines are much narrower than these particular tines, and that's the bit that sticks down at the bottom, and it all gets clogged up. So you have a choice really. You can pay £50 to £150 for a manual aerator that is more advanced, with 3 tines on and unscrewable tines which you can replace, but it also has slots on the side of the tines, so the soil comes up and ejects out of there. It is a good idea. I have concerns about these types. If they're going to clog up, just make sure that you push the screwdriver down the hole at the end of the day once you've finished using it, and then it's ready for the next day. We know that it works on a clay based soil and normal soil. I haven't tried it on pure clay, but this is just my ongoing review of this machine. So I'm going to crack on. I'm going to put it on a time lapse, and let's get this done. Right, so that has been hollow tine aerated, blown into a line, put into piles, picked up, and I've just gone back over with the mower over the bits where the piles were, just to try and pick up any remaining bits of fluff. I'm calling it fluff now. Thatch, fluff, moss, anything. You can see there's aeration holes. So we've got a good bed now for the seed. We've taken all the thatch out, cleared out a lot of the moss. We've got down to soil level because it's a full renovation, and we've killed everything off. We needed to go heavy. Next we're going to be overseeding, and then we're going to be top dressing. So let's crack on. Now before I get the seed on, I'm just putting a very light dose of balanced fertiliser, just to help the grass get off to a good start. We don't want any high nitrogen fertiliser because it's going to cause whatever other grass is still there to grow fast, which we don't want. It's just a light ferb. So for most domestic lawns, I use the same general amenity seed, and it can be from different suppliers. A mixed amenity seed is usually quite similar. It's a mixture of all different types of grass, and it's suitable for most lawns. It's when you want to go into specific lawn types. If you're looking after a bowling green type lawn, you're cutting it short, you want a bent and fescue mix. My own lawn has got a dwarf rye grass mix, which 100% dwarf rye, and this customer's lucky because I'm bringing the same seed and putting it on this lawn. So I'm just using this normal drop spreader, and do you know what, it's fine, it does the trick. Just walk up and down a few times and it drops the seeds out the bottom. The seed goes into the hopper there at the bottom, and you have a handle here, and you turn this to adjust it to the highest setting on this particular spreader, and we've gone basically to the maximum. And even with this, I tend to go over a couple of times. So we'll get this on a time lapse, and I'll get this overseeded. So you can see there, because it's bare soil, we've gone over quite heavy, quite thick. You can just see they're probably half a centimetre apart, most of them, give or take. But a good even coverage over the whole thing. So now we're going to be top dressing. Now I used to use a push spreader that deposits soil, and I still have it, and it is really good, and it's an expensive machine. However, last year I got the chance to use one of these Lanzi spreaders. Now Lanzi make these, and since then other companies have also made something that looks exactly the same. I cannot vouch for the others, I haven't used them. They may be absolutely fine, but the Lanzi one has worked perfectly fine for me. And so far it's done a full season perfectly fine. I think with any machine, as long as you treat it well and you look after it, it's going to last you a long time. So we literally, all we do, we pull it along the ground, and the top dressing comes out through the holes. So it's a good piece of kit, and I'll show you how we get on with this. So there's a hinge there and a door with two catches. I think these will last as long as you're not dragging them over hard surfaces and paths and things like that. As long as you keep it on the grass, it's going to look after you perfectly fine. That's the handle. I'll leave a link for these below. It just locks in, fill it, and just drag it up and down the lawn. So I'll go grab some top dressing. Now this is from a company called Field Compost, and they're field number 4. Dead easy, just close that. I'm just going to walk up and down. So the last thing to do, I'm just going to put my emerald green on. Will just help it with germination, and then I'm going to bit of watering in, and that is it. Right guys, so if you've enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please click on the subscribe button down below. It'll mean the world to me and it'll help the channel to grow and reach more people. Thanks very much. See you on the next one.